Good morning to all. Now let us move on to physics class, volume 2, ray optics. Volume 2, ray optics. Now let us start with the new chapter, ray optics and optical instrument. The first part we will see ray optics. Second part we will see, that is the next chapter, optical instrument. Optical instrument. So in this chapter we are going to see ray. Optics means light. Optics means light. Light is very important to our life. Light is a mystical. Its behavior is so fascinating, okay, and difficult to comprehend light to single entity. In this chapter, we will learn two different aspects called ray optics and wave optics. The ray optics deals with that, represent as the ray traveling in the straight lines. The geometrical constructs get the performance to understand the various characters of the light. In the wave optics, we will study about the phenomena associated with the properties of light as a wave. Okay, first we see the ray optics followed by the wave optics. That's all about the light. Okay, now let us come to the topic. Before that, we want to know about some terms. Beam. Already we know the ray. Ray means light will be moving in the straight line. That is represented by this term, ray. Okay. So ray is represented as a single line. Next, beam. Beam is nothing but a bundles of rays. Beam is nothing but a bundles of rays. Along with it, we can draw the so many lines in a parallel. This is a bundle of rays. That is called a beam. That is called a beam. Beam can be divided into three types. One is a parallel beam. And another one is a diverging beam. Third one is the converging beam. Converging beam. Parallel beam, diverging beam, converging. Parallel means the rays are traveling in the parallel form. Okay. Diverging means it will be spread out in all the direction from the single point. The light rays are spread out in the all the direction from the single point. Converging means it will be meet at a single point. Okay. Spread out means diverging. Converging means it will meet at a single point. The light rays are meet at a single point. It is called converging. It is called converging. Our human ear also heard some limitation of frequency. It is very sensitive. We can hear only about the 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz. Such a range is audible range. Okay. Apart from this range, our ear is very sensitive. Similarly, our human eye. The human eye is very sensitive in the electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic have the visible light. Okay, for this our human eye is very sensitive. The visible light having the frequency of this electromagnetic wave. In this light, visible light having the frequency of 4 into 10 power 14 Hertz to 7 into 10 power 14 Hertz. Okay. Wavelength range is 700 nanometer to 400 nanometer. 400 nanometer. This is frequency and wavelength range for the visible light. Okay. Our electromagnetic waves moving in the medium or vacuum with the speed of light. The speed of light, that is 3 into 10 power 8. The speed of light in the vacuum is the limiting speed of the wave. Limiting speed of the nature. Okay. So it moves with the speed of light. Light is travel in the straight line in a medium. It will be deviate in the paths only when it is encountered into the another medium or an obstacle. This is a ray of light. Ray of light. It gives information about the direction of light. Does not give about the other characters of the light like intensity and color. Okay. It is a beam of light. It is a beam of light. So bundles of such a rays is called beam of light. Because of the light reflection, we can see all the object around us. Okay. We know the objects luminous and non-luminous. Luminous means it generate their own light, sun, candle and a fluorescent bulb. This is a luminous light. Non-luminous means generate cannot their own light. Okay. Such objects are non-luminous object. Non-luminous object. So, direction of light. It can move in the all the possible direction. Light can move in the all the possible directions. Now let us consider the fluorescent bulb. In this fluorescent bulb, we can represent the ray of light. It will move in the all the directions. Okay, it can be indicated by the ray of light. Okay, to move in the all the direction. This is the rays of light. Rays of light. These rays of light travel in the straight line path along with the light travels. And the light emitted by the luminous object, it travel in the all the possible directions. Now we will see the path of light. Okay, now let us consider two interfacing medium, air and glass. The ray of light is incident on the interfacing surface. Partially light will be travel in the next medium, partially travel in the same medium. Okay, the light travel in the same medium is called a reflected rays. This is an incident ray. This is an incident ray. Partially the light will be traveling in the next medium. It is a refracted ray. Partially travel in the same medium. It is a reflected ray. The angle between the incident and the normal ray is called angle of incidence I. The angle between the normal ray and the reflected ray, it is called the reflecting angle theta. And the angle between the normal and the refracted ray, it is called the angle of refraction R. Angle of refraction R. Now let us consider the fluorescent bulb. It emit the light, it fall on the certain surface and it will be reflected along the certain path. Okay. Consider the plane surface. Plane surface. In the plane surface, light will be incident at on a single point. It is an incident ray. Partially, the light will be reflected along the certain path. It is a reflected ray. It is a reflected ray. Why this light cannot reflect at some another points? Because it obeys some law of reflections. Let us draw the normal line. The perpendicular line is called as the normal line. Okay. So the law of reflection, that means angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Okay. Let us see the concept. The angle of incidence is nothing but a angle made by the incident and normal. It is called angle of incidence I. Angle of reflection is nothing but angle made by the reflected and normal R. It is the angle of reflected rays. So here I is equal to R. I is equal to R. Suppose our incident light is incident on the some other point on the surface. According to that, reflected ray also travel in the another point. So in this case also I is equal to R. So in all the way I is equal to R. It is a law of reflection. It is a law of reflection. The second law, the incident ray, normal ray and reflected ray all are lie in the same plane. All these are lie in the same plane. Okay. Incident, reflected, normal all are lie in the same plane. This is a second law of reflection. Second law of reflection. Suppose our reflected rays is lie in this phase. Diagram is look like this. The incident and the normal ray is all lie in the same plane. The reflected ray is reflecting in the surface means it violates the second law. This case is not possible. Practically this is not possible. Only the reflected ray, incident ray and normal ray all are lie in the same plane. So the law of reflection says that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. And the second one, incident, normal and reflected ray all are lie in the same plane. The law of reflection is valid at each point for on any reflecting surface, whether it is surface is plane or curved. If the reflecting surface is flat, the incident rays are parallel. After the reflection, come out the parallel as per the law of reflection. If the surface is irregular, the incident parallel rays after reflection come out irregular. That is not a parallel. That is not a parallel. So still law of reflection is valid at each point of the incidence. We next move on to angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. So let us consider plane surface. This is the angle of incidence I, angle of reflection R. Okay, this is the incident ray. This incident ray is travel in the undeviated path. This is a undeviated path. Okay, the angle between this incident and reflected ray is called angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. Angle between these two is called as the angle of deviation, delta. Okay, in our textbook they are represented as a D. So this is a undeviated ray. This is a reflected ray. Angle between these two is the angle of deviation, delta here. So it can be right delta is equal to, already we know angle between the normal and the incident is I, and the angle between normal and the reflected is R. So from the diagram we can write deviation delta plus I plus R is equal to 180. So delta is equal to 180 minus I minus R. Here already we know I is equal to R. So it will come 2I. So D is equal to 180 minus 2I. 180 minus 2I. This is the angle of deviation. This is the representation of angle of deviation due to reflection.